Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. So, going to be a bit of a slightly different video. I was also, and I'll be completely honest with you, I was trying to think of like a clickbaity title for this just because it is a topic that tends to not be as popular as other financial topics that are actually out there. I'm a very big advocate of saving and investing. Not sure if you've seen the channel before, but I think this conversation has entered my mind right now because I've recently come back in contact with a number of people who I used to hang out with a lot. That part's not important. It's just more of a when I bring up finance and saving money and putting money to the side and investing. It doesn't matter what you invest in as long as you are investing. This is the thing to me, at least. I noticed that it kind of puts a large number of people off. They don't want to hear about it. It's something relatively or majorly abstract to them. A friend of mine was recently having a conversation with someone where he was telling them about investing and how they should be putting money away. And they didn't want to hear about it. There was something that they like, aren't we supposed to be friends? Why are you talking to me about money? And then I get into conversations or situations where I try not to pry because everyone has their own individual life. But I noticed recently that coming back into contact with a couple of people, how different life was from the frequency that I used to see them before, but also their financial situation. And this is kind of where it gets a little bit weird. So this one person in particular, and this has happened multiple times throughout the course of my life. I don't know if I ever told you the story. This must have been 2014, 15 or something like that. I knew someone and I picked her up one day from her job and me and her were walking around. The weirdest thing in the entire world. And we went, she was like, oh, I'm going to a party later. I want to go get some stuff. I was like, cool. We went to H&M. And she bought like 95 things. I mean, she bought everything that she possibly could. And then she got like accessories and rings and things and necklaces and yada, yada, yada. She paid for all of it. And then when we left H&M, she was like, oh. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, I'm just like really depressed. And I was like, why? What's going on? She's like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for my rent this month. And I was like, what? She had basically spent 80% of her paycheck that could have gone to her rent on clothing for one party for that evening. And it completely drove me insane because the actual reality just didn't make any sense that I saw exactly what I saw. Dragging it on back, I told you it's going to be a bit of a different video. I have one friend in particular. They have very specific things that they do in their life, as we all do. But this person also recently, who I came back into contact with, was telling me about the last couple of months of their lives. It was also the similar, like, I can't really pay for my rent. Their rent has gone up, as everyone's rent has gone up at the exact same time. They were mentioning how they can't afford things like they used to before. Stuff in the supermarket is very expensive, and this is so-and-so, and they would love to go on vacation. They would love to travel away. They keep looking at people on Instagram and yada, yada. So there's a huge difference, at least in my view, in my book, between realistically, people who are able-bodied to be able to do X, Y, and Z, the conversation that we're talking about, and or people who, like, I told you all before in another video, like people who have kids. That's another echelon of like a conversation that I also like exclude them from because I can't conceptualize the actual extra cost that one might have when having a child or children at the time. However, for me being single and knowing not the exact numbers explicitly of how much money this person is making, but I know what they do in their life, and this is where the topic becomes a little bit different. So this one particular friend who I'm talking about, daily, I've known them for 6 or 7 years now. I want to say a solid 6 or 7 years. I know that now I can't say the words because of the algorithm, but I know that daily they like the, whatever this is. I always see people doing it in the street. They do that daily. And they also sometimes glug glug as well. So I sat there talking to my friend and trying to be a bit of an emotional ear. I didn't want to be like, oh, brah, 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 brah. But the numbers really got to me. Because as long as I've known them trying to be this, investing evangelist, I always make sure to tell people, like, pay attention to the extra things, especially vices that you could give up, that you can actually put into something a lot better. And even in this instance, when I went over the numbers, like, it bothered me almost a little bit even more. So the pack of the thing that they're buying, which is daily, comes out to roughly, it is $10. Like, I know it's $10. It's not, there's no roughly there. I know it's 10. The other activity costs about 8 a day. They're buying different things. I've noticed their pattern before. It's typically all exactly the same. Now, I have the numbers written out here just for the sake of argument and almost said quickity of time. Quickity is not a word. The $10 a day comes out to roughly around $300 a month, 30 days in a month, what have you. $3,600 per year. It should be $365, but we're going to simplify it for the actual number. The idea of even $3,600 extra a year is insane when you also then multiply it by time. I don't know why 10 always sticks in my head. I don't know why it's a thing. I don't know where I got that instance from, but I always do like 5 to 10 year jumps in my head. So whenever I think of like goals that I want to accomplish, I fit them in always into a 10-year window. In 5 years, I want to be here. At the end of the 10 year, I should have not only accomplished it, but have moved on to something else. It's always a 5 or 10 year thing within my mind. And then I sat there thinking, I was like, this person's telling me that they have money problems, and I can almost concretely say I know where the money problems are coming from. $3,600 a year translates into $36,000 over the course of 10 years. And the really weird part is that that's just that one activity that this one person is doing. And I know that there are other things in their life that they do, that not that they should not be doing them, but it's more of a, you don't need new clothes every month. You don't need new shoes every 2 months. I saw you last summer, and I know you have flip-flops, and I know you have sandals and other things. You don't need a new one simply because it's not, it's a new year, therefore you need new things. Like I said, a bit of a different video. It's more to really let you understand. I don't want to sound cheesy and say like the power you have, but really kind of get it together in your head. I know that there are some people who have listened. I think I made a video like this like 3 or 4 years ago about another similar topic. And I've had some people, there's not like an avalanche of people, but some people have told me like, like it actually helped. I really did well. Because I always notice every single time when prices begin to move back up in the cryptocurrency space and the bull market looks nigh, I think that becomes a realization for a lot of people that's kind of like, oh man, I should have been buying the entire time. But I've heard from people specifically in my life, I don't have the money to invest. I have nothing to put to the side. Once again, there's a huge difference. If your rent is $2,000 per month and you are making $2,200 from your paycheck, got it. Like I really get it. But then you have other people who continue to put their money. All you're doing is giving your money to another company. You are actively making someone else richer as opposed to yourself. And it's not even like there's a huge difference between me, and I don't advocate for this like other crypto YouTubers. I won't tell you to get into debt. I think it's absolute nonsense. But when you know that there are things in your life that you could like cut back on, cut out, that you don't really need, that are not going to help you progress over the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years and put that into something else. It's kind of the idea like, imagine if right now you were like, oh gosh, I need some money. You're like, wait, the last 10 years I've been saving money. I have $36,000 that I can now access. Like how different that would be. It's the same exact thing. Like even looking into the future, don't even look at it from a perspective of like, if I do this, I can save enough money to put into the cryptocurrency market, as opposed to being like, I could put half of that into crypto and then the other half I have it for like not even a rainy day. Like, it's really stormy outside. It's been stormy the last couple of weeks. At least I have something to fall back on. It's just something to think about. The world is going to get more ridiculous. I don't know if you realized it, but people keep pretending like every single year isn't crazier than the last one. So I always advocate for saving. That's why I said earlier, I was trying to think of like a clickbaity kind of video, because I know being like, let's save together won't really, that's not going to sell as a video. Yeah. So if you can, as always, once again, if there are things in your life that you know that you probably should not be doing, don't want to do, I'm continuously shocked at how many people don't want to do a lot of things in their life, but they do it because of social pressure. But like, well, I've been doing it for so long, I might as well continue. We are rapidly entering a world where and I used to even think this was not a myth, but I was like, people are over exaggerating. The idea of the middle class is not going to be a thing in about 20 to 30 years. Like, it just actually won't be a thing. So always try to make sure that you are preparing yourself for the evaporation of the middle class, and that you try to move into the upper, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the words, but you understand what I mean, because yeah, I don't think things are going to get better for people who aren't making a lot of money and aren't saving right now. But that's also another topic for another video. Also, in the last number, I also wrote it down, but it completely slipped my mind. I did the calculations for both of the things that they do daily. And after 10 years, it comes out to $64,000. And that's like not even counting for inflation over the course of 10 years, because those things are also going to go up. And that's also not accounting for the other things that they're also doing. I had a friend who did both of those things and also was getting Starbucks all the time and also buying stuff. I mean, closet completely full. So that comes out to over like $100K over the course of 10 years. And that's like, that's a down payment on a house, or okay. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope I know I like stumbled my way through it, but I'm just concerned about the state of the world. I do hope you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.